It's a lovely spring morning, so I thought I'd come outside to tell you the story behind the name of the festival of Holi. Now, Holi is a spring festival from India where lots of people, they throw about lots of colour. You might have seen that, but this is the story of where the festival came from. Once upon a time, there was a wicked demon king, and his name was Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, well, he went to Lord Brahman, and he said, "I will be good and faithful if you give me a boon, a present, a gift." "What is that?" said Lord Brahman. "That I cannot be killed at day or night. I cannot be killed by a person or an animal. I cannot be killed on the ground or above the ground. I cannot be killed inside or outside." "Very well," said Lord Brahman. "I give you this gift." Well, you might think, since he'd been given his gift, that Hiranyakashipu would be good to his word, but he wasn't. Oh, no. He then said, "I am invincible, I cannot be killed, and so no longer will people worship God, they will worship me." And the people of his land, well, they did, apart from one person, and that was his son. His son Prahlad. His son Prahlad said, "No, I will not worship you, father. I will only worship God." "Then," said the demon king, Hiranyakashipu, "then you will be put to death." And so he was taken and he was thrown over a cliff. But Prahlad said his prayers, and instead of falling down and down and down, he floated down like a feather and landed safely. Well, Hiranyakashipu was furious at this. He said, "We will throw him in a well, so he will drown." And so, poor Prahlad, he was taken and he was thrown down a well, but he said his prayers, and splash, and he floated right back out of the well. Then said the demon king, "I know what we will do to him. We will have him trampled by wild elephants." So a herd of wild elephants was brought. And they led out poor Prahlad, and the wild elephants came thundering towards him. But Prahlad, he said his prayers, and the elephant screeched at a stop, and one even scooped him up with its trunk and put him on its back and marched back to the palace. Oh, the demon king was getting furious. "I know what we'll do to put an end to this insolent boy who will not obey me. We'll have him poisoned by poisonous snakes." And so he was thrown into a room filled with poisonous snakes. But Prahlad, he said his prayers, and the snakes, they just slithered away. Finally, Hiranyakashipu had an idea. "I know what. My sister Holika has a cloak that whoever wears it cannot be burned by fire. It's a magic cloak. I will have him sit on her lap, and she will hold him, and we will build a bonfire, and we will have that fire burn and burn and burn, and Holika will be fine, but Prahlad will be burned up to ash." And so they built a great bonfire, and Holika had the cloak on, Prahlad sat on her lap, and then the fire was lit. Prahlad, he said his prayers, and a wind came and whoosh, it lifted the cloak right off Holika's back, and it came down over Prahlad. And so it was Holika that was burned to ash, and Prahlad was safe. Well, after that, Lord Vishnu had had enough, and so he thought, I'm going to put an end to this. What he did was this. He thought about the boon that Hiranyakashipu had. He could not be killed by day or night. So Lord Vishnu appeared at dusk, when the sun is just going down and it is neither day nor night. Then he turned himself into a half man, half lion. He wasn't a person, and he wasn't an animal. Then he waited on the steps just at the doorway of the palace. He was neither inside nor out, and because he was on the steps, he was neither on the ground or above the ground. And then, when Hiranyakashipu came, Lord Vishnu pounced, and that was the end of the wicked demon king Hiranyakashipu. And so, at Holi, there are bonfires lit to celebrate the triumph of good over evil. And that's what the festival's all about. It's about springtime and all the colours of spring and good triumphing over evil. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story and have a happy Holi. Bye for now, P3s. Bye.